listeners, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Matthew, the man with a hat who reads, and it's time for October of Horror. It's spooky season. It's time to talk about the TBR for the October 2023 month. October of Horror is upon us once again, and I have 12 books here that I am planning to read this month. I think I'll get to all these. None of these are too terribly thick. They're not like some of those sci-fi September books that were so freaking huge. But I think I got a good selection here. I think we got a really good month ahead of us. Let's dive into it. So I went to the library first and foremost. And I picked up a couple there. We have Alex North's The Shadows. This is more of a creepy thriller. I read his first book, The Whisper Man, a couple years ago and always meant to pick this up and never did. I love the cover, if you can see it through all the terrible reflections and everything. And it sounded kind of creepy, thrilling, whatever. Then I found this one on the new release cart. It's Stephen King and Stuart Ornan's Face in the Crowd. And Richard Chismar's The Longest December. It's a 2-in-1 thing. It says double the thrills, double the chills. The only thing I don't like about this book is the fact that you'll read it one way for the one story, and then you have to flip it around and read it the other way for the other story. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work on keeping track of my reading progress on a book like this, because the page count starts over when it flips over again, so this could be interesting, but it's very short. I think I'll fly through it pretty quickly. And Shadows, I don't think will be too bad either. So, speaking of Stephen King, it's not October of Horror without Stephen King. And I'm going to finally get to Cujo. I mean, it's Cujo, the killer dog, you know. Again, this is actually short for a Stephen King novel. And this is only just over 300 pages. Might as well just say 300 pages, but I have never read this one. It's one I've wanted to get to. You can't do October of Horror without Stephen King. If I have time, I might still pick up From a Buick 8 also. I've been kind of looking at that one too. So we'll see. That's the plan anyway. We'll see what happens between now and the end of the month. A bunch of booktube channels are doing an Occult Detectives October theme. I'm not overly participating. I figured I would just pick up a couple that I've wanted to reread this year and haven't gotten to yet that fit the bill. They are Night Terrors and Dreamstalkers by Tim Waggoner. I really enjoyed this series when I read it the first time about 8-9 years ago, and I've been wanting to revisit it. I'm excited to revisit it. It's been a while. And again, it's Angry Robot, and as I've said before, Angry Robot's cover department is just phenomenal. Oh, warning if you don't like clowns. Sorry. And speaking of rereads, I'm also going to be tackling Guillermo del Toro and Chuck Hogan's Strain trilogy. This is another reread, of course. The Strain, The Fall, and The Night Eternal. This series, it's been even longer since I read. I read this, I think it was 2011, 2012. So it's been 11, 12 years since I read them. And I bought my own copies on like the clearance shelves at might have been in the clearance shelves at Borders, to tell you how long ago it was that I got these. Or was it BAM? It doesn't matter. But they've also been sitting here a while. They've got some discoloration going on in the top that the bottom does not have. So it's been a long time since I read them. I'd like to read them again, see if I still enjoy them. If not, I can unload those 3 huge hardcovers. And if I love them as much as I remember, great. I mean, it's a vampire trilogy. It's vampires, end of the world, apocalypse. I remember liking the first 2 a lot, and then the third one being kind of a letdown. But maybe my memory's not serving me correctly, so don't quote me on that. That's what the reread is for. But so now we got 4 others here. First up is Scott Thomas's Kill Creek. 4 famous horror authors spending the night in one of the world's most notorious haunted houses. It's a book from a horror fan to horror fans. It sounds very interesting. And I found this at like a thrift shop. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not out much if I don't like it. The cover is pretty creepy. I've heard other people talking about it a little bit and saying it was good. So I am excited to dive into it. It's probably the thickest book I have for the whole month, actually. Yeah. It's over 400 pages. It's probably the thickest book I have for the whole month. So if I get that finished, I should be good to go, right? Then we have Catcher on Awards Sundial. I meant to read this last year for October of Horror and ran out of time. Sin recommended this one back, well, last year. Last year. She really likes Catcher on Award, and I said I'd try it with this one. I'm going to get to it this year, Sin. Don't worry. This year, I'm going to make sure I get to it. I'm going to try to tackle this one earlier in the month, so I'm sure it gets done. Because if I don't get Kill Creek done or this next one done, I've only had them sitting here for a shorter amount of time, so I'm not too concerned. We have John Lindquist. I'm not going to even try to pronounce that middle name. Handling the Undead. It's a zombie novel by a guy I've enjoyed in the past. He wrote Let the Right One In, which was a fantastic vampire novel. He also wrote Little Star, which I didn't love as much, but it was still creepy and terrifying. He's great, and I wish I could find more by him. But it's actually hard to find stuff by him unless you look for it like used or whatever. But yeah, it's not very long. The print is actually I guess 360 pages, but the print's nice sized. I think I'll be able to fly through this one pretty quick this month as well. Last one. Because I have more I can always pick up if I get these all done. But this one's been sitting here. Oh God, it's been sitting here for a while. I'm going to just take a guess. Has it been 2 years it's been sitting here? Probably. This is Josh Mallerman's Inspection. I remember I picked this up around the same time I was ordering Unbury Carol and Mad Black Wheel. Is that what it's called, or is it Black Mad Wheel? Black Mad Wheel, not Mad Black Wheel. Black Mad Wheel. And because I really liked Bird Box when I read it. And so I wanted to get more by him. And this book has always just kind of slipped through the cracks. I had planned to read it last year, didn't get to it. I planned to read it the year before, didn't get to it. So hopefully this is the year I actually get it read. I'm hoping that I can get this one read. Again, I'm going to try to start this one earlier. Because if I don't get to Kill Creek or Handling the Undead, I won't be too disappointed because they haven't been here as long as this has. And I want to get it done. As Josh Mallerman, I have enjoyed, but I haven't had a Mallerman book yet that I really was like, I need to keep this and read it again and again. Maybe Inspection will break that. I mean, it's possible. It sounds like he's boys are being trained at one school for geniuses, girls at another. Neither knows the other exists until now. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping I enjoy it. And I'm hoping to get it done. It'll be good to get it done. And it'll be done, you know. So that's my planned TBR for October of Horror. I might change it halfway through the month because that's just how I am. So I have so many different books that fit that theme that I might just keep on going and grab something else or put some of these aside. I have a Matt Haig one, The Possession of Mr. Cave, that I don't think really qualifies as horror, but I might squeeze it in anyway because Possession is technically a horror theme. So we'll see. I don't know. I really don't know at this point. I've got plans. And if I get all these read, then I can start stretching into other things. But that's my video. What do you guys think? Have you read any of these? Did you love any of these? What's on your TBRs for October of Horror? I know I missed out on a couple videos this last week. I didn't have one earlier in the week or on my usual Friday video because I was just crazy busy during the week and didn't have time to get a video filmed and edited down. So you're watching this as a day late than it normally is, but whatever. And if you've been waiting for me to watch your videos, because I know there's a bunch of people I love watching their stuff, I'm working out of time trying to catch up. There's just so many I like watching, and I have a backlog right now. There's like probably a good 12 videos I want to watch, and I just haven't had the time to tackle them yet. But I'll get to them, I swear. So, in the meantime, thanks for watching, and until next time, keep turning pages.